Vikram Vedha, एक और remake. Was it better than the original? Unfortunately, I can't tell you that because I haven't seen the original. But before you click off, that's on purpose. When they announced that this movie was going to be remade in Hindi, I was very well aware of the fact that the 2017 original Tamil version of the movie was available on Hotstar. I actively chose not to watch it. Why, you may ask? Because this is one of the rare cases where the remake is being done by the same people that made the original. And I was like, well, if they find the story worth to tell in a different language, let me go into the theatre without any preconceived notions and give this movie the best chance. And that's what I did. Now, before I get to anything else, I have to give a special shout out to Sam CS, the man behind the background score in this movie. It is amazing and it is so much better in the theatre. Everyone in the row that I was sitting in was like, yeah. Anyway, you get the point. Everyone that has seen the original has told me that the background score, again by Sam CS, was far better than the one in this movie. This version is watered down, so I can't wait to hear what the original sounds like. तो शुरुआत से शुरू करते हैं. I absolutely loved the opening credits. I like this form of opening credits, which Brahmastra did as well, and they've done it in Vikram Vedha too, wherein the opening credits are not just names popping up on the screen and random music playing. It's actually telling you a story. The storytelling has started. You're not wasting the audience's time, and I like that. The opening credits in this movie are about the folklore of Vikram Betal, which is kind of what this movie is based around, or the characteristics that the two main characters have. Vikram, Betal, Vikram, Vedha. Benazir Ali Fida, who has worked on the Hindi adaptation, has also written its dialogues. And while some of them in some scenes may sound a little preachy or out of place, for the most of it they work. They're delivered by absolute conviction by all of the actors, especially Saif Ali Khan and Hrithik Roshan. And they leave us with some gems like उड़ान देखने के लिए आसमान देखना पड़ता है, ज़मीन नहीं. What a dialogue! क्या लिखा है? Now, there are several layers to this movie. And while the screenplay slacks a little in the first half, it seems a little slow. I think it was done on purpose to build the characters, build the environment, and then for you to just let loose and enjoy the second half. Another reason why I think the screenplay seems slow in a lot of parts throughout the movie was that it made way for slow motion shots of Hrithik Roshan. And despite 2 hours of me absolutely drooling over him on the big screen, I can also understand why it is a little slow, a little tedious, it seems a little elongated. It didn't need to be a 2 hour, 40-minute movie. So yeah, I can see the side that says that it was a little slow, it was a little boring, not gripping enough in the first half. But I can also see the other side which says, we got to see Hrithik walk in slow motion multiple times, Saif deliver solid dialogues and solid action. Again, walking in slow motion several times. So who's complaining? There's no right, there's no wrong. It's all about what you enjoy and what you're looking for in the movie. Another thing that I wasn't particularly a fan of was the action sequences. I was actually looking forward to them after seeing the trailer. I was like, yes, it looks violent, it looks gritty, and it looks like there is a lot of good hand-to-hand combat. But unfortunately, the stylistic choices made by the directors for the action sequences were extremely slow motion action sequences with old music playing in the background, making it look kind of easy for the characters, whereas I would have loved a more down in the dirt hand-to-hand combat where you can feel the impact of every punch. They do that, but I also think the squelching sounds and the teeth-breaking noises was a bit much. Saif is in fine form. He is the perfect counterpart to Hrithik's madness in this movie. While Saif is there, you enjoy his presence. But once Hrithik comes on screen, it is the Hrithik Roshan show all the way. And I'm so happy about that. These are two actors that I genuinely really like, and I'm so happy to see them perform well on screen. What am I saying perform well? Hrithik owns the screen, whether it is without his beard, whether it is with his beard, his rugged look, he owns it. Hrithik Roshan's entry, that background music, it was all perfect. But I cannot help but ignore that it looked exactly like a scene out of 7. I just wish it was done a little differently. A lot of people were skeptical about the Lucknowi dialect and again the choices that were made by the makers, but it didn't seem too out of place. It's a great neo-noir film in that it tells you a story and then reels you back in and tells you what happened and then tells you another story and reels you back in again and it's like, oh wait, this also happened, and just keeps you going till the end. Yes, there are some plot holes in the movie. Yes, there are some plot armors used in this movie. But they also gave us Hrithik in all his glory, so I think we can forgive them for that. Now, I know this video is coming out a little late, but this is something I really want to talk about. At the start of the movie, you see Saif in white. You know, white as in the color of righteousness. You're confident wearing white. You know what you're doing and you believe what you're doing is good. Whereas the first time you see Hrithik, he enters in black. A color that is not so associated with righteousness. In fact, in most cases, white is right, black is wrong. What this movie does so beautifully is, as the movie goes along, as Vedha reels Vikram in with his story, you see the color palette change. You see the colors of Saif's polo shirts change. After Vedha's first narration in the movie, you see Vikram wear a dark blue shirt, which doesn't really signify righteousness but still signifies knowledge, authority, and reliability. But it marks a shift from the white. After that, we see him wear a creamish color, where maybe he feels righteous, but he's still knowledgeable, has authority, and he's starting to feel righteous again. And then Vedha drags him down into the muck with him, covering his shirt in mud, making it look grey. Throughout the climatic sequence, Vikram wears a grey polo. And I think that just signifies how Vedha pulls Vikram by his stories and proves to him that there is not always one right and one wrong, it's all grey, which is what the trailer tells us. The first half was a little slow, but there was a lot of character building and I didn't personally mind it, but I can see why people might find it a little frustrating. A friend of mine who was sitting right next to me after the interval told me, "Yaar, ye kya hai?" It's just a 1.5 hour long photo shoot of Hrithik Roshan so far, which I didn't mind, but evidently he did. But as we go into the second half, the story goes into fifth gear and there's a lot that is happening. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of storytelling. And that's when I think it really picks up. Because the same friend who told me the first half was horrible, after the end of the second half told me he actually liked it. Which is, yeah, I kind of agree. Not entirely, but yeah, kind of. I will say though, the end of the movie frustrated me. And really made me think about whether, despite drooling over Hrithik for more than 2 hours, I really like the movie. Because I was like, surely you cannot end on this shot. Surely this is not the end, right? There's something more. And no, that was it. That was the end of the movie. And the credits started rolling. And I was like, yeah, I don't know whether or not I liked it. Then I left the theater and I kept thinking about it. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that the end was meant to frustrate me. There is no end to the debate of right or wrong, which is why you cannot get complete closure. And that's when I realized that the movie, the actors and the directors, Pushkar-Gayatri, had done the job. Overall, an extremely enjoyable movie. Might seem a tad bit long to some, but you get to see Hrithik dance, act, walk in slow motion, and Saif is there with him just to amp it all up. So yeah, go watch it, enjoy it, even if you've seen the original, because I'm sure these two actors bring something new to the table. And that's it for the review. If you've seen the original and the new one, let me know what the differences were, or let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't seen the original and you've seen this one, still let me know. Vice versa as well. And I will see you soon for another review. Till then, take care. Peace. Also hope you enjoyed this. See, I put in effort, guys. Come on.